The humming corridors of base Aurelius stretched ahead, bathed in the pale green glow of bioluminescent panels. Lieutenant Arya Malik paused outside the personnel office, heart pounding. It was her first assignment on the alien installation orbiting the ice moon Tethisa Place, rumored to hold wonders and horrors in equal measure. Inside, the HR concourse was an unexpected oasis of calm. Plush seating, aromatic diffusers emitting a faint lavender scent, and courteous alien staff greeting each arriving human. Arya took a seat at one of the sleek pods marked Personnel Intake. Across the transparent desk sat Nystal, the base's head of personnel, a slender, six-limbed being with iridescent skin shifting through violet and teal tones. "Welcome, Lieutenant Malik," Nistel intoned in perfect Federation standard. "Please, state your purpose." Arya straightened. "I'm here for orientation, protocol briefing, and team assignment." Nystal's mandibles clicked in what looked like approval. "Of course, we have prepared a comprehensive integration plan you may experience." Just then, alarms began to chime, a low vibration through the floor plating. Nistal's skin flickered to crimson stripes. "Emergency code Cerulean," she said. "All personnel to duty stations." Arya's blood ran cold. She had heard of Code Ceruleana threat from within the base itself. She stood, voice steady. "What's the situation?" Nystal's 6 eyes regarded her gravely, detecting unauthorized energy signatures deep in level C, possible hostile presence. Arya inhaled, adrenaline surging. "Lead me there." Through twisting corridors and vertical lifts, Arya followed Nystal to a blast-sealed hatch. Beyond it lay the bowels of the alien facility, conduits glowing with liquid neural sap, alien machinery humming with cosmic energy. But at the center of the chamber, framed by shimmering shields, stood a humanoid silhouette, its face obscured beneath a hood. Security teams flanked her, plasma rifles raised. The silhouette raised a hand. The shields around it glowed golden. Nystal's voice crackled through comm. "Do not engage until authorized." "Arya, step forward. Identify yourself." The figure lowered the hood. A woman's face emerged, features distinctly human, eyes unnaturally bright with violet luminescence. "I am Dr. Ellen Rhodes," she said softly. "Or at least what remains of me." Gasps echoed in the corridor. Elin's voice continued, measured. "I once led xenobiology research on this base before the accident." Arya's heart clenched. "You went missing 6 months ago." Elin nodded. "They said I was lost in the ice moon's crevasse, but in truth, I found something deep beneath the surface, a crystalline entity. It merged with me. It awakened." A low hum pulsed from inside the containment field. Arya could feel it, a gentle yet unstoppable force. "This is hostile?" Ellen's lips trembled. "Not yet, but I cannot control it. The energy demands are growing." She looked at Arya. "I need your help." An uneasy hush fell. The HR-trained rational mind of Nystal counterpointed with Arya's military instinct. "What do you need?" Arya asked. "Containment, not destruction. I can guide you, but you must trust me." The base's sirens resumed, code Cerulean escalating. Security commanders murmured. Nystal approached Arya, mandibles clicking in subtle pattern. Concern, dismissal, hope. Arya made her choice. "Lower the shields," she ordered. Security hissed. The containment field snapped off. Light blossomed from Ellen's chest-vibrant arcs of violet and teal. They spread into the chamber, illuminating the walls etched with alien glyphs. Arya felt a profound calm wash over her, even as raw power pulsed around her. Ellen's voice echoed, resonant. "This entity, it was left by the progenitors, a guardian of worlds. It seeks connection, not conquest, but unbridled, it could consume us." Arya steadied her breath. "We contain itritual, tech barrier?" Elin's eyes glimmered. "Both. We need the glyphs behind you, the neural sap flow, and your authorization codes." She turned to Nystal. "With your HR integration protocols, we can station the right personnel at key nodes." Nystal's carapace gleamed. "Integration tools repurposed. I shall assist." Moments later, what had been a sterile HR intake room became a nexus of alien-human cooperation. Engineers and utility skimmers wired junctions. Biochemists infused sensors with sap. Soldiers stood guard. Arya keyed in codes. Elin chanted softly in ancient tones. The glowing glyphs pulsed. The entity pulsed back. Violet energy wove into golden stasis filaments. The chamber stilled. The hum faded to a gentle pulse. Ellen collapsed, drained, but alive. The shields engaged, sealing her safely within. Silence. Then applause. Even the HR staff exhaled relief. Nystall touched Arya's shoulder. Thank you, Lieutenant. You have honored the spirit of this base and the Guardian. Arya nodded, eyes on Ellen's form. What now? Nystall gestured to the intake pods. Integration continues. You will help guide her recovery and our shared mission. Orientation rescheduled. Arya allowed herself a slight smile. I'm ready. The pale green corridors seemed brighter, now human, and alien strides echoing together toward the next chapter. A lost guardian restored, a new partnership forged. And on base Aurelius, hope glimmered across the stars. The sterile hum of the containment bay lingered like a ghost, drifting through the metallic bones of base Aurelius as silence descended in the aftermath. Yet beneath that silence, something ancient Staretta presence woven not from flesh or alloy, but from light older than language. Lieutenant Arya Malik had been briefed on anomalies, breaches, even hostile incursions, but nothing in those Federation files prepared her for this. She stood at the observation deck, gazing down at the figure encased in shimmering stasis fields. Dr. Ellen Rodesor, what remained of her humanity. Vines of translucent energy coiled through Ellen's veins, pulsing with alien rhythms. Her eyes, once brown, glowed with an ethereal violet fire. It was beautiful, terrifying, beyond comprehension. In the reflection of the observation glass, Arya caught sight of Nystall approaching their lithe alien form, a fluid silhouette against the faint emerald glow of the command center. The HR administrator's 6 eyes blinked in asynchronous patterns, revealing concern, calculation, and something bordering on hope. The entity within her, Nystall began, voice low and resonant. It is not merely symbiotic. It is sentient. Older than this base, older than your species. Progenitor technology. Forgotten by time. Arya's jaw tightened. And we're sure it isn't a threat? Threat, Nystall clicked, is a construct of perspective. It seeks harmony, but if denied, discord follows. The alien's mandibles flexed in emphasis. Our personnel files did not prepare for this. Below, Elin stirred within the stasis field. The luminous veins in her skin pulsed brighter, sending ripples of energy cascading along the chamber's reinforced walls. Monitors flickered. Artificial gravity stuttered for a heartbeat. The Bays Gronata sound like ancient leviathans awakening beneath an ocean of stars. We can't keep her locked down forever, Arya muttered, eyes sharp with calculation. The energy's building. Systems will fail. Nystall nodded slowly. Integration is necessary, but dangerous. To stabilize the entity, she must connect to the base, to personnel, to you. Arya's brow furrowed. Me? Your neural imprint. Federation records list high compatibility. Nystall gestured to the glowing data cascading across translucent screens. Empathy index, cognitive resilience, anomaly adaptability. Your profile matches precisely. A bitter laugh escaped Arya's lips. I came here to escape Earth bureaucracy. Now I'm part of a cosmic experiment? Nystall's mandibles clicked softly, or savior of this base. Before Arya could respond, an alarm blared. Crimson strobes ignited across the command center. The containment field flickered unstable. Inside, Ellen's eyes snapped open, irises now twin galaxies swirling with impossible depth. Her voice reverberated through the chamber, not through speakers, but directly into the minds of all present. I cannot hold it much longer, Ellen's mind, voice whispered, layered with something alien and ancient. You must choose merge with me, stabilize the Interior, this base falls to chaos. Arya's pulse raced. Sweat traced down her temple. Integration meant more than collaboration, it was fusion. A neural bond, a gamble with forces mankind barely understood. But hesitation wasn't an option. She turned to Nystall, voice steady. Prep the neural interface. Nystall's many eyes reflected the glow of impending uncertainty. You are certain? Arya exhaled sharply. No, but I'm done watching. In moments, the procedure began, wires threading from bioterminals, alien sigils glowing along the floor, Nystall chanting progenitor phrases as technicians secured the neural bridge. The room trembled as the entity's energy cascaded through circuits like liquid lightning. Elin extended her hand, ethereal tendrils of light spiraling outward. Arya grasped it, connection forged. In an instant, her mind fractured and expanded, glimpsing forgotten galaxies, dying stars, memories not her own. The entity flooded her consciousness, a storm of knowledge, terror, and hope. Through it all, one truth crystallized. The entity wasn't malevolent, it was incomplete, searching, lonely. And now, fused with Arya, it found anchor. The chamber calmed, system stabilized, gravity normalized, and within her, Arya carried the hum of something impossible, part alien, part human, entirely unknown. But this was only the beginning.
The aftermath of the merge was not what Arya expected. She had braced for pain, for madness, for the fracturing of everything she knew to be real. But instead, there was silence. Heavy, infinite silence stretching across the neural corridors of her mind like the event horizon of some forgotten black hole. In that stillness, she floated not as a soldier, not as an officer of the Federation, but as something new. A vessel. A bridge. An unwilling, unprepared emissary for an intelligence far older than flesh. Her first conscious thought came like a whisper carried on currents of thought not entirely her own. You remain intact, promising. The voice wasn't Ellen's, though echoes of the doctor's memories drifted beneath the words like shadows on glass. No, this voice was vast. Genderless. Patient. It belonged to the entity itself, the ancient intelligence coiled now within the fragile human shell of Arya Malik. She opened her eyes, or rather, her awareness expanded outward, and found herself back in the containment chamber. But the world was different now. Every surface thrummed with hidden patterns. Energy conduits sang with quiet frequency signatures. The living metal of the base seemed to pulse like a heartbeat, revealing the complex web of alien design beneath mundane Federation architecture. Nystal approached, though their footfalls were soundless. Their 6 eyes dilated, reflecting wavelengths Arya couldn't perceive before. Ultraviolet glimmers, faint aurora spectra, bioelectric fields curling along her skin. The alien regarded her not with suspicion, but with something rarer, curiosity laced with reverence. Lieutenant, Arya. Nystal spoke carefully, mandibles tight with restraint. The integration succeeded? Arya's voice emerged layered, tinged with the faintest resonance of the entity. It lives within me. We coexist. Ellen's form still hovered nearby, connected to the containment systems, her body frail, her eyes closed. A portion of the entity's essence lingered with her, but the bulk, its consciousness, its raw, undiluted awareness, now resided inside Arya. A flood of alien memories surged, half-understood fragments, crystalline worlds orbiting dead stars, civilizations whispering their final songs into the void, great machines slumbering beneath oceans of methane ice. And buried within those memories, warnings. Nystal, Arya said, her voice firming, layered with alien undertones, the entity isn't our only concern. The HR administrator tilted their head. Explain. There are others. Remnants. Guardians. Awakened by the entity's pulse. Arya's fingers curled, feeling phantom energy spark along her nerves. Not all of them are benevolent. Nystal's chitin shifted in hue, a sign of restrained alarm. Progenitor war constructs? Possibly, Arya replied. Or something worse. Outside the chamber, distant klaxons began to wail. Emergency lights rippled crimson down the corridors. The base trembled, subtle, but undeniable. Through the neural tether with the entity, Arya sensed it clearly now, approaching vessels, skimming the edge of Tethys's gravitational shadow. Their signatures weren't human, nor friendly. We have incoming, Arya declared, already stepping toward the command interface. Her mind interfaced with the alien systems effortlessly now, glyphs translating, data flowing, circuits responding to mere thought. Unknown vessels, Nystal confirmed, their eyes narrowing. Minimal life signs, maximum weapon profiles. Arya's jaw clenched, entity energy coiling within her chest. They followed the pulse, they've come to reclaim what I carry. The base, this fragile alliance, their fragile peace, it was all about to fracture. But Arya wasn't merely human anymore. She was the bridge. And bridges, when burned, always leave fire behind. The first impact rippled through the base like a tremor beneath ancient stone, a deep, bone-shaking vibration that set warning sirens wailing across every deck. Base Aurelius, for all its advanced systems and progenitor technology laced through its walls, was still a fragile island adrift in the endless Black Sea. And now the sea was stirring with predators. Lieutenant Arya Malik stood at the primary command console, her mind wired directly into the base's interface. The entity pulsed inside her, a cold, endless current of awareness that sliced through human limitations like a scalpel through silk. Data cascaded across her vision, streams of alien code, quantum signatures, tactical overlays. She understood them now, not in fragments, but in full. They've breached the outer defense perimeter, Nystal reported, voice low, calm, the precision of an administrator whose role was never designed for war yet found themselves standing at the center of one. 3 ships, unknown configuration, minimal biological presence. Machines. Arya's fingers hovered over the hollow controls, though in truth, her commands transmitted before she moved. Automated warforms. I saw them in the entity's memories, remnants of a forgotten epic. Purpose. Nystal's 6 eyes gleamed with shifting concern. To retrieve the entity, Arya replied. Her hand rested on her chest, where faint bioluminescent strands still pulsed beneath her skin, the mark of integration. Or to destroy what they cannot claim. The observation window shimmered with energy barriers. Beyond, the void stretched infinite, broken only by the advancing warforms, sleek obsidian vessels shaped like predatory wings, their hulls bristling with weapons that hummed with old power. They weren't crude in the conventional sense. They were alive, artificial minds forged in the image of a long-dead civilization, programmed to obey a single directive, secure or eliminate the entity. Inside the command center, the station's human and alien personnel scrambled, arming defense systems, calibrating shields, routing power to critical nodes. The faint traces of fear wove through the air like static, but Arya stood anchored, her pulse steady, her mind flooded with knowledge not her own. The entity spoke within her now, no longer a whisper, but a resonant undertone threading through every thought. They will not reason, they will not bargain, but you can fight. Arya's eyes narrowed. She linked directly to the station's defense arrays, feeling the weapon systems as extensions of her own body. Plasma turrets cycling, gravitic projectors charging, ion fields blooming like spectral flowers across the base's hull. The first volley from the warforms struck seconds later, beams of dark energy searing against the station's shields, leaving rippling fractures along the energy fields. Metal groaned. Alarms blared. Shields down to 84%. Nystal reported, their mandibles tightening with calculation. Return fire authorized. Target primary propulsion nodes on those ships, Arya ordered, her voice layered with human resolve and alien precision. Cripple them, don't destroy them yet. We need answers. The station's turrets unleashed brilliant arcs of plasma streaking through space, slamming into the warforms with explosive force. 2 of the ships faltered, veering off, systems flickering. The third remained steady, larger, more heavily armored. The entity's voice sharpened within Arya's mind. That one carries the core directive. Its destruction is not optional. Arya transmitted the firing coordinates before the thought fully formed. Pulse cannons rotated. Charged energy built to a crescendo. The final warform opened its hull, revealing a sphere of light at its heart, a miniature singularity swirling with malicious intent. Graviton weapon detected, Nystal warned, their voice finally cracking beneath the weight of what approached. But Arya was already moving, already connected, already understanding the architecture of their enemy, as if it was coded into her blood. She reached into the system, wove the station's defenses into a lattice of alien algorithms, and fired. A beam of compressed energy lanced out, colliding with the enemy's singularity core. There was a flash, white-hot, reality distorting, and then the warform imploded, vanishing into a pocket of collapsed space. Silence returned. For now. But Arya knew more would come. The war for the entity had only just begun. The debris drifted like frozen ash across the viewport, twisted fragments of synthetic hull plating, remnants of the enemy vessels that had come to reclaim the entity embedded within Arya Malik. But even as the last echoes of battle faded into the cold vacuum, a heavier truth settled over base Aurelius. This was no victory. It was an invitation, a signal sent across systems, declaring the entity's location to anything in the void still watching. Still waiting, Arya leaned heavily against the console, her body humming with residual alien energy. The neural link between her and the station pulsed with fading aftershocks, the raw connection taxing every nerve. She could feel the entity receding slightly within her, coiling back like a serpent satisfied for now. But its whispers lingered, threaded through her thoughts, impossible to untangle. You stabilized the network, Nystal observed quietly, stepping beside her, their slender form casting long shadows beneath the flickering control lights. Integrated systems beyond standard human parameters. Aria's lips curled into something between exhaustion and grim acknowledgement. I didn't stabilize it alone. Nystal's mandibles clicked, processing her meaning. Their many eyes reflected faint strands of violet light still emanating from Aria's skin, the unmistakable glow of progenitor influence. And yet, your biology remains intact. A favorable mutation. Aria's jaw tightened. I'm not some lab specimen. This wasn't evolution, it was survival. Before Nystal could respond, the chamber doors hissed open, revealing Dr. Ellen Rhodes, flanked by security personnel. Her features were gaunt, her body weakened by integration, yet her eyes blazed with purpose, a fire born of shared knowledge no longer exclusive to her alone. They'll come again, Ellen warned, voice raw but unwavering. Stronger, faster. The directive never stops. It doesn't know defeat. Aria straightened. We need to fortify the base, adapt every system, rewire protocols, prepare for more than a siege. We're exposed. Ellen nodded, her expression tight with urgency. The entity's signal was always a lure. Its presence awakens relics hidden across the sector, automated fleets, ancient constructs. Some will seek to destroy us. Others might offer allegiance. Nystal's head tilted. You propose recruitment? Of forgotten machines? Ellen's lips thinned into a wry smile. I propose options. The entity's voice brushed across Aria's consciousness. A ripple of ancient calculation, cold yet curious. They fear the directive, but they also obey strength. Show them strength. Aria turned to the strategic displays, eyes scanning the star maps projected before her. Dozens of faint signatures blinked across the void, dormant signals buried deep within asteroid fields, beneath frozen moons, drifting among wreckage forgotten by time. Opportunities. Risks. Potential allies or additional threats. We don't just hold this ground, Aria declared, spine straightening as command settled into her tone. We expand our reach. Locate those relics. Secure them. If war is inevitable, we don't face it alone. Nystal's mandibles clicked approval, their eyes alight with strange admiration. Integration accelerated your ambition. It accelerated my understanding, Aria corrected, already feeding commands through the neural interface. This base, this entity, they're keys to more than survival. Ellen approached, her voice low. But keys often open more than just doors. Sometimes they unlock cages. Aria's gaze met hers, unflinching. Then it's time to see what's been caged. Across the viewport, the stars stretched endless and cold. Somewhere out there, forgotten powers stirred, remnants of the progenitor age awakening to the entity's signal. Friend or foe, they were no longer myths. They were coming. And Aria intended to be ready. The stars shifted around base Aurelius like silent sentinels, cold and distant, indifferent to the fragile machinations of those clinging to life beneath their frozen light. But deep within the base, where the artificial atmosphere hummed against reinforced alloy and alien conduits whispered with forgotten energy, preparation was no longer a theoretical exercise. It had become survival in motion, a brutal, methodical rhythm set by the one who now carried the pulse of something far older than humanity itself. Lieutenant Aria Malik moved through the lower integration levels, her footsteps echoing across the curved metallic floors. The entity pulsed within her, not as an intruder, but as an extension of her awareness, an ever-present current of ancient calculation woven into her neural pathways. Data streamed into her thoughts effortlessly. Power fluctuations, security clearances, engineering schematics, alien energy readings layered with the fingerprints of a civilization long dead. Yet the facility pulsed with more than raw data. Pulsed with apprehension. Teams of engineers, both human and alien, worked side by side along the illuminated corridors, retrofitting defense systems, infusing human hardware with progenitor components harvested from the entity's dormant archives. Sparks crackled, cables twisted like synthetic vines across the bulkheads, and all the while, eyes followed her, some filled with awe, others with quiet suspicion. At the heart of the integration zone, Nystal waited, their slender form partially silhouetted by cascading hollow displays. Their chitinous exoskeleton shimmered faintly in the pale blue light, mandibles clicking in steady rhythm as they reviewed operational schematics. You've accelerated the process, Nystal observed as Aria approached. Human engineering protocols are inefficient, but your influence expedites calibration. Aria's gaze swept over the display's alien glyphs blending seamlessly with Federation code. It was working. For now. We're not ready, she said flatly. The relic signals, some are moving. Others responding to the entity's presence. Nystel's six eyes narrowed, processing layers of data the way only their species could. Progenitor constructs reactivating. Some friendly. Others, a pause, subtle yet weighted, predictably hostile. Aria exhaled slowly, the entity's hum deepening within her chest. It wasn't just military logic guiding her anymore. There was instinct now, alien reflexes nested beneath human thought, urging strategies beyond conventional warfare. We can't react blindly, Aria continued. The relics out there, they're older than our conflicts, our borders. Some may remember their purpose. Some may not. From behind them, footsteps approached, measured, familiar. Dr. Ellen Rhodes, pale but resolute, her frame still bearing the scars of partial integration, entered the chamber. Her eyes glowed faint violet, a diluted echo of what burned within Aria. You're right, Ellen agreed. The relics are fragmented. Many have no central directive left. They'll align with strength or destroy what they perceive as weakness. Nystel's mandibles flexed. And the entity? It offers strength, but also instability. The entity offers opportunity, Aria countered. If we move fast enough. Across the hollow map, dozens of relic markers pulsed, scattered across moons, derelict stations hidden within asteroid fields. Some signals weak, others blindingly strong, like beacons to scavengers and sovereigns alike. Our scouts locate them, Aria said, resolve sharp as alloy blades. We secure or neutralize. No unknown variable remains uncontrolled. Nystel studied her, mandibles clicking softly. You've adapted rapidly. I've had help, Aria replied, her hand briefly brushing her chest, the faint luminescence beneath her skin casting ghostly ripples across the room. The hum of base Aurelius deepened, a resonance older than strategy, older than war. A storm was gathering, and this time Aria would be ready to face it. The scout ship drifted like a silver shard through the debris field, its hull reflecting fragments of forgotten battles, twisted plates of alien alloys, frozen bodies sealed in cracked exosuits. Silent echoes of wars that predated human expansion by millennia. Lieutenant Aria Malik stood on the observation deck of the small vessel, her mind tethered to both the entity pulsing inside her and the ever-present hum of base Aurelius growing distant behind them. This mission wasn't sanctioned by cautious commanders or buried under Federation protocols. It was necessity, instinct. The relic signal out here wasn't just a dormant machine or some drifting progenitor ruin. It was active, broadcasting faint bursts of code layered in languages lost to time. Call, fragmented but undeniable. Beside her, Dr. Ellen Rhodes studied the hollow readouts, her expression tight with calculation. The faint glow beneath her skin mirrored Aria's, though hers was weaker, more diluted. A reminder that while both had touched the entity, only Aria carried its core within her. The relic's close, Ellen muttered, adjusting the scanners. Less than 2 clicks. But something's wrong. Aria's eyes narrowed, her awareness expanding beyond biological senses. The entity whispered beneath her thoughts. A deep, resonant murmur rippling through her neural pathways. There was life ahead. Or something imitating life. The scout ship glided closer, the debris thinning, revealing the relic, a vast, crescent-shaped construct half-buried in the rocky field, its surface etched with ancient glyphs, portions of its hull fractured from impacts suffered over eons. It wasn't entirely dormant, streams of faint blue energy pulsed along its spine, forming patterns no human mathematician could decode unaided. Nystel's voice crackled over comms transmitted from base Aurelius, confirming visuals. Estimated progenitor architecture damaged. Energy signatures unstable. Aria's pulse steadied, her hand brushing the neural interface embedded at the base of her skull. It's alive enough to broadcast. Question is, what's it trying to say? The ship drifted alongside the relic, docking clamps latching onto fractured metal. Airlock protocols engaged. Atmosphere equalized. Ellen handed Aria a compact sidearm, standard Federation issue A. But they both knew if something went wrong inside, conventional weapons wouldn't save them. The hatch cycled open with a low hiss, revealing the relic's interior, a cavernous space lined with crystalline conduits, faint pulses of light snaking across walls layered with dust and micro-impacts. At its heart stood a terminal alien, pulsing, waiting. The entity's voice stirred within Aria. This fragment remembers. It fears extinction but yearns for unity. She approached, bootsteps echoing across the derelict chamber. Her hand hovered over the terminal, the faint glow of the entity within her synchronizing with the construct's energy pattern. "Ellen, stand by," Arya ordered, her focus narrowing. Her fingers met the terminal. A surge of light erupted, cascading across the chamber. Images flooded her mind, fractured memories of a lost fleet, progenitor vessels fleeing some unseen calamity, relics scattered like seeds across star systems, guardians slumbering in silence. Then, a presence. Not entirely alien. Not entirely machine. It spoke, layered in the ancient dialects Arya now understood. Designation, Sentinel Prime. Directive, preserve knowledge. Defend against corruption. The relic wasn't a weapon. It was a custodian. But it had been damaged, fragmented, uncertain. "We can repair it," Arya said aloud, the entity affirming silently within her. "We bring it back." Ellen's voice cut through, tense. "If it agrees." The Sentinel's systems pulsed brighter, analyzing, adapting, recognizing Arya as both human and something more. Integration authorized. Arya's pulse quickened. A new ally had awoken. The void hummed with new potential as the relic, Sentinel Prime, pulsed beneath Arya's fingertips. Across its fractured systems, dormant circuits lit for the first time in millennia. The air inside the ancient vessel thickened with static, every molecule charged with energy older than the Federation itself. But beneath the technological marvel of it all, one truth resonated through the neural pathways binding Arya to the entity. This was no simple machine. It was aware, damaged but alive. Sentinel Prime's fragmented consciousness rippled through her mind in jagged waves. Memories from an epoch long buried beneath cosmic dust. She saw glimpses of vast fleets traversing starless sectors, worlds engineered and abandoned, ancient conflicts raging not for conquest, but for preservation of knowledge. And when the final echoes of the progenitor civilization faded, these sentinels remained, isolated, waiting, deteriorating. Directive incomplete. The sentinel's voice declared within Arya's thoughts, its tone mechanical yet laced with a sorrow that transcended language. Core systems compromised. Awaiting integration. Arya turned to Ellen, whose wary eyes reflected the faint luminescence still curling beneath her skin. The relic, it recognizes the entity. It's willing to connect. Ellen's expression remained guarded. Integration means risk. We link this thing to Aurelius. We could invite more than cooperation. We could wake every dormant construct for 100 light years. Arya's jaw clenched, her mind navigating the possibilities as the entity whispered beneath her thoughts, its presence coiling like a dormant star storm. The relic wasn't merely a tool, it was a node in a vast, fragmented network stretching across forgotten sectors. Connection could offer unparalleled defense or draw the directive's wrath like blood in the water. But hesitation was a luxury long abandoned. "Prepare the uplink," Arya commanded, her voice firm, layered with human resolve and alien precision. The Sentinel's core flared brighter as systems stabilized. Holographic glyphs spiraled across the chamber, the relic's architecture rearranging in response to Arya's presence. Energy conduits snaked toward their ship, forming intricate data lattices designed for transfer. Nystel's voice crackled through comms. "Base Aurelius acknowledges incoming signal. Integration permitted under your authority." Arya's heartbeat synced with the entity's hum as the connection formed, data cascading from the relic into her neural pathways, from her to Aurelius, and back again. It was overwhelming at first, a flood of ancient code, defensive schematics, encrypted knowledge archives, but the entity buffered the surge, stabilizing her consciousness, anchoring her as conduit and command. Outside, the relic's hull panels realigned, fractures sealing with liquid alloy. Sentinel Prime drifted free from the debris field, its systems rejuvenating, its dormant power awakening beneath the glow of distant stars. Ellen monitored the readings, tension lingering in her frame. "Stability holding for now." The Sentinel's voice spoke again, stronger, less fragmented. "Network status, isolated. Detection probability, increasing. Recommend immediate relocation." The entity whispered, a ripple of shared awareness threading through Arya's veins. "The others, they feel the pulse. They will come." Aurelius's distant outline loomed on the horizon as the scout ship realigned course, the relic following like a spectral guardian reborn. But with it came inevitable consequence. The directive would sense the activation, the forgotten war would stir once more, and Arya's choices would determine survival. Within her, the entity pulsed, ancient yet patient. The first piece of the forgotten network was theirs. But the true war had only begun.